Let's get back into this energy crisis now. And I'm joined again by Matt Rennie, a leading expert in the energy market and founder of Rennie Advisory. Joins us from Brisbane. Good to talk to you again, Matt. How much worse are our electricity prices going to get? They're going up another 20%, up to 30% across the country in July. Will that be the end of it?
Well, it won't be, Chris, and for the 600,000 people or so that are going to be hit by this initially, and then for the rest of the population that's going to see this in their market contracts in the next 12 months, it's certainly going to hit hard. But you know, the default market offer is made up of two things, and prices are made of two things, and that's the future wholesale cost of energy and the future network costs that are going to come through. And unfortunately, neither of them are going to be moving downwards in the next 10 to 15 years.
Now, we know that all sorts of pressures are at play here, and we know there's been an impact from gas prices and coal prices thanks to Ukraine. But for instance, there's plans to spend an extra $100 billion on additional transmission in this country so we can link up more renewable projects, which cost billions themselves. Surely this is all adding to our price increases. Consumers have to pay for that.
Look, absolutely. Consumers will end up paying for all of it. It's one of those situations where I'm afraid the house always wins. There's about $150 billion worth of renewable investment going to come in the next 20 years. The transmission investment will be on top of that. And of course, that doesn't assume the extra price that we'll all pay in trying to get the resources that we need, you know, the people, the money and the equipment in order to make it happen at the same time that it's happening all over the world. And this is well before we start to see electric vehicles and the subsequent impacts that has on electricity networks. So it looks like it's going to be an upward climb pretty much for prices. And you know, even the interventions that the government looked at in December, which really focused on only one part of the problem, didn't do much to stop that.
So we've seen, roughly speaking, 50% increases in retail electricity prices over the past 12 months, if we wrap in what's happening in July. Can you give us an idea of what you expect to happen in the 12 months to 2 years after that? Can you give us a percentage figure of what additional increases we might see?
Sure. Over the next 12 to 18 months, we're thinking that there'll be something like 15 to 20% after this initial 25%. That'll be driven really by the forward prices for wholesale power. Network prices, we think, will remain reasonably stable for the next 3 to 5 years. But then as wholesale prices start to come off towards the end of the decade, we'll see network prices begin to come up. So really this transition that we're going through to a completely new generation mix and a whole new way of wiring it together is going to be quite a costly experience. But,
can I just clarify again, Matt?
Are costly.
Sorry, can I just jump in and clarify again? In the 2 years from June 30 this year, what sort of an additional increase do you expect to see reflected at a retail level?
About 15% per annum.
So another 30% over the
So we expect this 24%. Yes, that's right, and we don't see that declining. You know, overall, we don't see prices really moving much below that 10% mark over the next 3 to 5 years, and that's simply because the increasing cost of volatility in the network and some volatility in the system, I should say, as coal comes out and batteries and renewables come in. There's a lot of firming cost which needs to be added into that, which ultimately is the cost of the transition.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, Matt. I appreciate it. Matt Rennie there from Rennie Advisory. You heard it there. Another 15% a year for the next couple of years, and you can factor in 10% pretty much every year. They're just going to keep going up and up. And we'll keep on that with you because the government, I seem to recall, promised they'd be going down and down.